We are thrilled to be joined by the Hall of Famer. Usually, you will hear him every Thursday, I believe. That's today. Thursday during football season with the Musers, but he is in studio with us. Let us all welcome Troy Aikman. Troy, what's up, man?
It's good to be here. Yeah.
It's good to see you. How you been?
I'm doing great. Yeah, everything's good.
So thank you so much for joining us. It's a beer thing. We're going to talk beer now.
It is a beer thing.
Then we're going to talk.
I'm not the only beer person around.
No, you're not. He's like, Troy, man, I don't know if I want to talk to him. Beer? Okay, he can come in studio.
Yeah.
That'll be fine. Let's talk to him. So
right.
It's happy to have you in studio, man.
Yeah, no, it's good to be here. I mean, I'm a P1, have been for a long time. I guess I would say I became one when I retired. Never listened to the station when I was playing for a lot of reasons that I think are valid.
You didn't want to hear these hot sports opinions while playing? Come on now.
And then it's really been a great relationship. It's been one of the best things I've done, and it's amazing how I do a lot of stuff, right? I was with Fox for all those years. I do Monday Night Football. I've done Thursday Night Football. Other shows, I have more people comment about the Thursday show with the Musers than really anything else I do. Right. So it's a big following, and it's such a great brand, and it's good to be part of the family.
Yeah, it's one of those things in the fall, when we're driving in, we'll just sit in our cars in the parking garage and make sure that we catch it, just in case you say something that we have to know.
And I think you give us a segment every Thursday. Seriously, Troy said this, so let's go.
I've got to tone that down a little bit. It just seems like
speak your mind.
I try. I think I love the Cowboys. I want to see the team do well, but I do feel that as the lead analyst, whether it doesn't matter to the network, but as the lead analyst, when I'm asked a question, I'd love to be Roger Staubach. I really would. I'd love to just be the guy who's the homer for the home team, but I feel like in a lot of ways my credibility on a national level as well as a local level with the audience of the ticket, that I've got to be somewhat honest. I would say I'm not always as honest as I'd like to be, but I do feel like I don't feel like I can mail it in and just couch it. And with that said, I try to do it respectfully because I've got a lot of relationships, and I loved my 12 years with the team and want to see them win.
So let's get into 8 right now.
Let's do it. I would love to get into 8.
Please, go ahead.
So I'm sure most people are aware 8 Elite Light Lager is the beer that you started. So if we could, I'd like to start from the beginning of how that became a concept for you.
Yeah, well, I will tell you, first of all, I worked at a distributorship when I was transferring from OU to UCLA. Barry Switzer, of all people, called me up and said, hey, have you found a summer job yet? Which was strange because I had already told him I was leaving and had already agreed to go to UCLA. I said, no, I haven't. He said, I got a friend who just bought a distributorship in Tulsa, and you've got an interview tomorrow if you want it. So I took it. Got the job, spent the summer, half of it on trucks, the other half touring around with the owner and calling on retailers and wholesalers. And then I went out to UCLA, came back to Dallas in 1989, became very close friends with Barry and Lana Andrews, who Lana recently passed. Barry passed a couple of years ago. Wonderful, wonderful family. And now Mike McGuire and Natalie McGuire, they run everything. And so I did a lot with that distributorship here. I've done some national campaigns. So it's a long way of saying I've been involved in the beer business, I feel, for a long time. Mm-hmm. And then it was around COVID that I began, like a lot of people, we're sitting at home. People were going to go one of two ways. I decided to really dial up, my programs as far as health and wellness goes. I wanted to come out of COVID in the best shape of my life, but it struck this idea that, hey, I think beer can be done better. I think there's a better, healthier way to make it. And I thought the brands that were on the market were old, they were tired. And so decided to move forward. I reached out to Mike McGuire, who I just mentioned, and I really expected him to tell me all the reasons why I shouldn't do it. I said, here's what I'm thinking. Do you think I'm crazy? He said, no, I don't at all. And it was enough of a nudge that I decided to go forward with it. So teamed up with Oregon State, their beer program there. And the mandate was really, I want this to be the best for you beer that can possibly be made. And it took 2 years, and that's where we're at. It truly is the best for you beer. It's totally additive free, which none of the major beers can say that. There's 3 ingredients. It's water, malt, and hops. That's it. So no sugars, no sweeteners, no syrups, no corn, no rice. It truly is the cleanest. 100% organic grains is what we use. And it tastes like beer, unlike some of these other light beers. And so if you're a light beer drinker and you like the taste of 8, I mean, this isn't a plug, but I really don't know why you would ever drink anything else, because if you like the taste and you like light beer and you like the taste of 8, it really is the best thing for you. I'm not suggesting that beer is healthy for you, but it's a better for you brand, and we're at a time in our lives right now where consumers, it doesn't matter the category, everybody's looking for something that's better for them. I think people are more and more mindful of what they're putting into their bodies, and so I think 8 kind of came along at the right time, in the right category, and we continue to grow, and I'm really excited about it.
Troy Aikman in studio with us. I feel like you're a guy that wants to make sure you get this thing right. How many different variations? You said it took 2 years. How many times that you go, okay, we're not there, almost, not quite? Was that a long process where you thought, man, I don't know if we're going to get this done, or you knew that the ending was going to be what it is right now?
Yeah, there was a time where I kind of wondered if we could meet the taste profile that I wanted. I knew the profile that I was looking for, and I wondered if we could get there and still be additive free, quite honestly. That was the challenge. And so that's why it took 2 years. But this group in Oregon State, phenomenal. I mean, just really, really talented in the way in which we were able to come up with it. We went through a number of samplings, me and my partners at the time, doing Zoom, doing the taste test, unmarked bottles, and trying to figure out which ones do we like and all that. And so it was a labor of love, but something that I'm really proud of. I've been involved in every aspect of the brand. And really happy with where we are right now. We just came out this week with the slim can, which I think initially I was asked the question, do you want a slim can or do you want a traditional can? And I wanted the traditional can, which was probably, quite honestly, a mistake. And so we switched. And the reason I say that is because of the fact that we're a better for you product. I think the slim can kind of lends itself to that there's something to be said for the slimmer version, that people would realize, yeah, this is a clean, better for you beer. And so that launched this week, and really excited about what the feedback is going to be on that. We came out with bottles at the end of last year, so now we have the long neck bottles and brand new packaging, and just really excited about where we are right now.
So it's Troy Aikman. He's talking about his beer, 8 Elite Light Lager. It's a 90-calorie beer, 2.6 carbs. It's 4% alcohol by volume. So a lot of the times when we talk about beers, we talk about those crushable beers that are lighter when it's hot and easier to drink, and this would, of course, fall in that category. And Troy brought some cans. Have you had 8 before? I don't know if you have or not.
Yeah, I went to the lunch party at
That's right.
The casino, right?
Casino,
yes.
Yeah.
And I think personally, like when you're talking about the beers that you are competing against in those light beer categories, I think it's obvious that this beer tastes better and is using better quality ingredients. I think just off the taste, you can pick that up immediately.
Yeah, well, I thank you. And I've heard you talk about it and say when you're looking for a light beer and going to have a few, if you're playing golf or whatever it might be, that 8 is your go-to beer. And it makes sense. And I will say that when we first launched, we've changed breweries. We are now being brewed in Kansas City at Boulevard, which is a world-renowned brewery, and they do a fantastic job. So for anyone who's listening, if you gave 8 a try when we launched 4 years ago and you said, I'm not so sure, I would ask and appeal to you to try it again. And I think you will see if for whatever reason you didn't like it, I think you'll come away with an entirely different idea as to what 8 is all about. This brewery up in Kansas City Boulevard, I know you being a beer connoisseur, you're certainly familiar with them. They've got some great brands, but it's just a great brewery, great partnership for us, and we're real excited about that as well. But there's no doubt it's got a real crisp, clean finish. And as you mentioned, it's 90 calories, 2.6 carbs, and those things are important. I mean, they're important to me, and it's why a beer like Mick Ultra has done as well as it has done. The simple fact that at the time that they launched, there was this craze about low carb. And so it was a low-calorie, low-carb beer, but it doesn't taste like beer. And in our surveying that we have done, people that drink Mick Ultra, they don't drink it because they like the taste, and they readily admit that. So if you're a Mick Ultra drinker, I encourage you to try 8 as well. And if you're a light beer drinker, I encourage you to try it. Right now we're in Texas and Oklahoma, but we have plans to expand after this year as well.
I just wanted to picture you, Troy, like at your house with a separate bathtub in your jersey, kind of brewing it yourself.
He's mashing in. Like,
right. Then you dips his pinky in it and go, no, that's not it. And you just kind of keep going.
Y'all didn't mind that I wore my jersey today, did you?
No, not at all. We got to know who you are.
Well, this is standard uniform for me. So, yeah.
That's what all the commercials would tell us as we were growing up. Every player had their jersey on as they just went to the store and everything else.
So I'm curious, when you got into the ingredients of how you wanted to do this with the malt you were going to use and the hops that you're going to put in, were you hands-on in that process of trying those different things?
Yes, because we did use different hops and different grains and things, and so it affected, obviously, the taste. But in my attempt to say, hey, let's make this the best for you beer on the market, we then went with organic grains, and the hops that we use are actually antioxidant hops. So it truly is as clean as it can get, and I learned a lot about the beer making process. I still couldn't explain it to you. I mean, I go in and I watch, and I go, yeah, I get it, and then you're just trying to figure it out. But I've gone through a lot of breweries and watched it all put together. I never had that take-home beer kit, that some people made their own beer in their garage. I never did that. I just kind of wanted to sample. Even the occasions that I've been up to Napa and I do the wine tasting. Yeah, I'm not interested in the process.
Yeah, I don't want to stomp on the grapes. I'll just put that in the glass and let me drink it.
Let's get to why we're here.
Yeah. Did it kind of blow your mind about what it took to get everything done?
Yeah, and these guys, I mean, the ones that man that and make it all happen, it's quite impressive. Of course, now so much of it is automated. But even with that said, it is quite a process as to how it's all put together.
It's interesting when you talk about this because, like, beer is something where I often offset in my head, like the way that I eat and the things that I do in working out and things like that, almost to offset how I am with certain beers that I'll drink. And so having, I think, like a light lager option like this, like you're talking about being, not that beer is healthy for you, but if you're going to drink it, to try to find the best option for you.
That's right.
Because as we all know, I mean, I talk about it all the time, and there are Saturdays where I'm like, man, I just put a lot of poison in my body,
Yeah, well, the thing about it is those who know me, they know how obsessed, and I will use the word obsessed, I am with my health,
right.
And what I do on a daily basis to try to maintain my health. So those that know me well, when I decided to do this, there was a part of them that felt like maybe it was a bit of a contradiction to who I am, and instead I said no, it aligns perfectly with who I am, and that I do like beer, and I do believe that there needs to be balance in life, and I feel that when there are those moments that you want to celebrate or those times with family and friends that for me. A beer usually comes into play, and I know it does for a lot of other people. And so why not then have one that you can feel better about drinking as opposed to one that's loaded with all the additives and syrups and sugars and everything else?
All right, I think we're going to crack one open here during the break, and we'll come back with Troy Aikman. It's lunchtime with The Invasion. Matt McClearin, Donovan Lewis. We'll come back, and we will talk some football with Troy Aikman next here, too.